Hello, and welcome to the Ilene Silverman Show. I'm your host, Ilene, and on this week's program, our guests from St. Francis Vet Care explain the transition to their new facility and their new name, but still emphasizing the same excellent veterinary services provided to low-income families in our communities, emphasizing the importance of the human-animal bond. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for our program. I'm delighted to introduce my guest, Dale Kaplanstein, veterinarian and co-founder of the original St. Francis Pet Care, and Sarah Wingfield, executive director of St. Francis Vet Care. And it's wonderful to have you, Sarah, and you, Dale, here to talk about the pet clinic, the pet care, the vet care, and everything in between. And for me, it's quite a special moment, Dale, because I'm thinking back to you and co-founder Chris Matchin being on an early Ilene Silverman show, sitting in the studio, talking about your vision and what you put together. And I went and visited you behind the St. Francis house to see the first St. Francis Pet Care. And I have never forgotten how I felt watching you and Chris and others working with the people there and their pets.
Well, when we first started, which was August of 2007, it was me and Chris. However, it quickly grew because friends of mine and Chris's and volunteers in town, veterinarians, loved the program. And we were able to supply knowledge, food, medicine, companionship for people who were not being able to access veterinary care. And to me, it was very important, even if we can't do all the bells and whistles.
Right.
Someone should be there to be able to answer questions, and it's not fair that these animals are not being taken care of.
And when you could clearly see the importance of these pets to their owners.
Oh, being
even
a veterinarian, I can't tell you how many pets, and each one of them, I've owned...
is special.
Is special.
Like a person. They're like a person.
Right. Yeah. And they don't all have to be perfect.
No, people we're not.
Right. Yeah. But we need to explain to people. And a lot of our clients never had the opportunity of speaking to a professional veterinarian or vet tech. And our vet techs are very important in the communication. So education is extremely important. And everybody loves their pet, but sometimes we do the wrong thing because we don't know. And we need to just correct it.
Oh, I can still remember Chris going under this desk and pulling out, I told you, files, boxes of files saying, I document
all hand done.
All hand done. I document everyone who comes, and I gave them this much food per month, and now you've continued with a few bumps in the road, but you haven't lost your mission, and that kind of brings Sarah into the picture. How did you get started?
Oh, sure. I was a member, still am, of the local AKC Dog Club, and Dr. Kaplanstein, along with Dr. Azaza and Chris, all came to the dog club to give a presentation about this wonderful organization that was doing good. And I owned my own pet care business at the time and had owned it for 10 years and had a grooming business as well, and was grooming dogs at people's homes mobile. And I was looking for a place to volunteer and give back, and I had worked as a technician also in the previous time. And so I caught up with Dr. Kaplanstein afterwards, and I said, is there a need for groomers? Do you need help with that?
We need everything.
And so they said, yeah, we do this outreach once a month that we definitely have dogs that need grooming and nail trims and things like that. You should come out. And so I did, and then I never left.
You're such a good fit.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
such a good leader now as executive director. It's gone
thank you.
through. Well, when did you start in the new facility under your new name?
Sure.
2024,
Yeah,
I
2024.
think.
It's
Yeah.
been a year now that we've been at the new location, and it was just really important for us that as this kind of refresh start, that we kept the original mission and the original intent that Dr. Kaplan-Stein set up with the same values for our clients and the same services that we were able to offer in the past, just at a new location with a slightly different name.
Right off of Tower Road.
Yeah.
And might I say, Sarah is doing a wonderful job.
I know.
I couldn't have
You
picked someone better.
But
you did.
I agree. Yeah. She is the perfect fit to guide this forward.
Yeah.
Right.
And your vision is still intact.
And we still have a lot of the original volunteers,
Yeah.
veterinarians
Outstanding.
and staff coming back.
Oh, that
It's so
means
wonderful.
so much.
Our clients are so happy to see a lot of the doctors that they knew originally that helped at the
Right.
original clinic. Whenever they come in and they see Dr. Chris or Dr. Kaplan-Stein, they just light up because they've had these relationships
Familiar faces.
for so many years, and they know that they can trust them and trust their pet's care. And then all the new faces that are really exciting to
Are
see
welcome too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have so much more to talk about, but we're going to take a quick break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back talking about St. Francis Vet Care with Sarah Wingfield and Dale Kaplan-Stein. And we're just beginning to understand here all about the vet care. Talk about your mission a little more, Sarah.
Absolutely. Our mission is the same as it always has been since 2007. We have three main focuses of our mission. We're here to provide accessible veterinary care to underserved populations. So usually that means people that are either low income or veterans, seniors, people that live in rural areas where there's
Right.
not veterinary care. So anyone that's having difficulty accessing to get to a veterinarian, we're here to help them be able to provide that care for their pets where otherwise they may not be able to. That includes preventative medicine, so
Right.
things like vaccines and parasite prevention, wellness exams, as
Which
well
is
as,
85% of the battle as a veterinarian.
yeah, it's
The
a
prevention.
yeah. Yeah, it's a lot cheaper to prevent an illness usually than it is to treat one.
To treat it,
And
just
it's
like
always
with a
yeah,
person,
exactly.
human, yeah.
Yeah, a lot less stressful too if you can prevent, emergencies from happening. Then you have a healthier pet for a longer amount of time that you get to spend time with them. So that's our main, goal and mission is preventative medicine, but also education that we do for
Right.
the.
We do education a number of ways, but one important way for me is educating veterinary students and pre-veterinary students to a different way of practice.
Oh.
When we go to school, we're taught the ivory tower. We can use all these machines and know all this stuff. But in the reality, we can't use all those tools out in practice, even the biggest practices.
Right.
So we have to use our noggins.
All right, so you have to rethink it once
Right.
you're a vet and out in the
Right,
world.
right. And so there's many things that we can do with simple tests and simple observations. And this is showing veterinary students and pre-vet students that you can do it a different way and do a good job.
And do a good job. That's so, and I would say something equally valuable, how to work with people, all kinds of people.
Exactly.
The human touch, just like we like to go to a doctor who has the skill of listening and talking to you,
Yeah.
and the same for going to a veterinarian.
I always had a rule that one of my technicians or other doctors or someone would come up to me and they'd give me this silly question. I'd say no. And then the next statement is, but why?
Yeah.
But why?
Why?
It's a silly question, but why?
Why?
And then when you find out why, it's not really that silly. Okay? You
Right.
just didn't see it from what their point of
The
view.
perspective,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And I think from my perspective, you do more. You're not just treating the person and their pet. You're helping their life.
Yeah. Yeah,
because
the other
they
part of the mission.
need help.
Yeah.
All different ways.
Exactly. The other part of the mission is the access to resources. So we
Right.
serve as a hub because a lot of the groups that we work with, that we provide veterinary care with, Volunteers of America, Grace Marketplace, the Swag Family Resource Center,
Right.
these are all places
Peaceful
that serve
Paths.
peaceful paths.
Right.
Yeah, these are all places that serve people and their needs. And so we're able, through our connection with their pet and the conversations, we find out that they may have a need.
Right.
And so then we can direct them to these other services that we're networked with to be able to get help for the person. A lot of people won't seek help for themselves, but they will seek help for their pet.
Yeah.
And so while they're there in front of us, we are able to show them that trust and that bond, and they trust us as a resource. So if we say that it's a good place to go or a helpful place, then they have more impetus to actually go get help
Right.
for
They
themselves.
have confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And so it's really important for us to bring, because if the human isn't healthy and can't take care of their pet, the
Then-
pet's going to
then you're-
suffer.
right.
The bond between humans and animals has been proven over and over again, that how valuable it is to both sides. And so we want to make sure that we're nurturing that on both ends.
I mean, sometimes it's what keeps people going.
Yeah.
Knowing they have a pet, they got to live for that pet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They got to take care of that animal that loves them. And you also don't judge people, and you treat people with dignity. I mean, I know this from my first visit, other visits, and I know this from knowing you, Dale, and Chris, and watching you, Sarah, at the vet clinic and vet care establishment. And I think that it means a lot.
Yeah, we welcome all types, and all of our volunteers are very diverse as well. All of our veterinarians from different backgrounds. We have
Right.
large animal vets and small animal vets and exotics, and they all bring a different specialty to the clinic.
what they do.
It's interesting. You can go to a volunteer clinic, but you can have board certified surgeons and doctors that are working on your pet.
Or anesthesiologists.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
And we're going to take another quick break. Still more to talk about. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back discussing St. Francis Vet Care. And what does accessible vet care mean?
absolutely. There's all different specialties in veterinary medicine. What we specialize in is access to veterinary care. There's a lot of barriers that our clients may face. Some of the basic, like financial or transportation, even their level of education of what they
Right,
understand
certainly.
for different care needs for their pet. But other stuff too, like languages and previous experiences at veterinary offices. Maybe they've been turned down for care before
Right.
because they couldn't afford it, or had a negative experience with a pet,
Or
perhaps.
didn't even understand what was going on
Right.
with the pet.
So they're bringing all of that history into your
Yeah, and
vet
so we try to
care.
overcome those barriers. I always tell people that we just meet people where they're at, and sometimes that means physically going to where they are,
Right.
Or meeting their budget needs, or meeting their language barriers. We have a lot of wonderful volunteers. We have vet students and other community volunteers. Many of them are bilingual, and so they can help
what a
us
great
overcome those language barriers. But there's a lot of other ways that our volunteers are able to help us also.
And
So-
you do have a mobile van, mobile, yes, which I think is outstanding. That, as you said, you can go out to the
Yeah.
rural areas and bring the care to people that
One of
can't
the-
come to you.
Absolutely. One of the new outreaches that we're doing now is our rural outreach. So we go to Union County and Levy County, just outside of our borders here.
Okay.
There's no veterinarian within about 25 miles in Union
Whoa.
County. So there's not a veterinarian at all in that area.
Right.
And so we go to those areas that are underserved to overcome those barriers to the limitations there.
Again, accessible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you just recently had your very successful first, but now annual
Yes.
relay team.
Yeah. The vet
Competition.
team. Yeah.
The competition.
Yeah.
Which was, you talk about it.
Oh,
yes.
sure, absolutely. We invited all the local veterinary teams to compete in the vet team relay race. And basically, we just, as accessible care, we want to be there as a resource to the community, but also to the veterinarians. Dr. Kaplanstein can speak to the need of the
Right,
veterinarians.
Yes, it's so important when you're at a vet hospital, and I own 2 of them, when you have somebody comes in and they just can't afford anything, to say
You feel
you can't do
paying
anything.
for 'em.
And you know your knowledge, you can do something. So with St. Francis Pet Care before, but now Vet Care,
Right.
I'm able to call Sarah, or other veterinarians are able to call and say, go see her, go see that clinic.
Mm-hmm.
And usually we're able to do something
Right.
Yeah.
for that
some
person
way.
and pet.
Yeah,
And so it's the collaboration is so important, your partnerships.
Yeah, absolutely. And it goes both ways. There's diagnostics that we aren't able to run that are beyond our care, but we have charitable funds that can help with those resources. And so when we have pets that come in with more advanced needs than what we have those veterinarians that we partner with to be able to send them to try to get an answer there as well. So we wanted to have the relay race together to bring all the vet teams together to have fun. We try to have fun in veterinary medicine when
We do have fun.
Yeah, when we can. And so this was a way for everyone to let loose, show their skills.
Go through this
obstacle course
yes.
of bandaging a dog's leg like
Yeah.
on a stuffed animal, and running through a lost and found bin looking for a collar and those kind of things, throwing pills, stuff like that. So there was a lot of little fun things, and everyone dressed up in costumes and had team spirit names, and it was just a lot of fun. All the clients and supporters in the community were able to vote for their best team, and those votes of dollars were able to donate to our mission as well. So it raised money for a good cause, but had a lot of fun and really just brought the veterinary community together in a way that just showed how we could work together to help the pets.
And it was 4 years in the making. This
Yes.
was a huge
Yeah, and we
effort
did
to
it.
get underway. But now it will be annual, and then it will build, and people will be looking forward to it year after year.
Yeah, we had many teams that were just at the last minute that wanted to be a part of it and just couldn't get in the last minute, and so we already have a roster for next year.
I love it. I know we're going to run out of time, but it just to say, to pull this off and everything, you need volunteers. You need volunteers for every day that
Well, we're
you're
looking
there.
for board members. We're looking for grant writers.
Right.
We're
You have
looking
great
for
needs.
drivers. Anything. So don't think you're not valuable. Come in and
You are.
find out.
Right. We're going to talk more about that. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back discussing St. Francis Vet Care, and we were talking about the need for volunteers. So, what can the community do to reach out and be of help? Tell us more.
Yeah, there's all kinds of roles that we have. So everything from help with bookkeeping, fundraising, administrative, secretarial work. Also, we're specifically looking for an outreach coordinator right now to help coordinate our outreach events and our fundraising events. So anyone that likes to throw a good party is welcome to come join. We also really need board members as well. As we reformed the charity, we also reformed the board. And so we definitely need board members to help us connect with the other community members and raise awareness for our mission would be really helpful. And then the general public, we have all kinds of events that they can find on our website that they can join in on and volunteer. They can send supplies to the clinic, so we often go to their different outreaches like Grace Marketplace, the Swag Family Resource Center, and we hand out pet supplies like leashes, collars, food, brushes, things like that.
You need those donated.
Yeah, absolutely. And those items are
would
donated
be-
to the clinic, and we hand those back out.
Okay.
In December, we actually do a Christmas outreach at Grace Marketplace.
Very appropriate.
And so we stuff gift bags, like medium-sized gift bags. We need those, and we put them together with items for the humans. So socks, hats, gloves, fleece blankets to be able to wrap the pets in, as well as pet treats and toys.
Wow, so this is something offices could get together and
Sure.
do,
Yes.
and other clubs and organizations, and of course individuals. There's just a great deal of need, and of course you do need financial support.
Yes.
Always,
Always.
Yeah.
and that is accessible. You can donate through your website. You have a great website, by the way.
Thank you.
And people should sign up for your newsletter.
Yeah, and then they can see all the different things we're working on right now.
Right.
The biggest new thing is we've relaunched our spay and neuter program. So we're working with Fix Them All to do an affordable voucher for spay and neuter, which is part of our mission to make sure all the pets that we see are spayed and
Spayed
neutered.
and neutered.
Which
I remember that
eliminates
way back.
a lot of diseases that we don't have to deal with.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
so it is again preventative.
Yeah,
Correct.
and it helps keep pets out of the shelters as well, which is really important part of our mission. So we want to make sure so in order to fund that and fund those vouchers and that program, we do need donations to be able to help make sure that we have the facility up to date and all the supplies that we need to be able to do those surgeries.
And on your website, there are so many beautiful stories, testimonials, more than we have time because we're going to run out of time. But I urge people to go and connect.
Yeah.
It's very moving.
They're only going to make you feel good.
Yeah. They do. And just a few last words, Dale. This has been your heart, you and Chris, for so many years.
Well, another thing the public should know is that health of a pet reflects your health. Okay?
Well said.
And so we need to keep pets healthy, and we need to teach people how to keep them healthy so they're healthier.
Right. It all fits together.
It does.
And that human and pet bond that we've spoken about, but
Is
to anybody who's had a pet or, even any time in their life,
or known a pet.
everybody knows it, feels it. It's just so important. And for many of those that you serve, it is what keeps them going.
For sure.
Yes.
The love of that pet.
And accountants will always tell you that pets lower their blood pressure during April.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, the science is behind it, and we see it every day. And the people that we see the difference that the pets make both in them, and if that person is happier and healthier, then the community as a whole is happier and healthier.
You're right. It enriches everyone.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you, Sarah, as Executive Director, for your leadership, for the vet care, St. Francis Vet Care, you, Dale, and Chris, for all the many years ago starting St. Francis Pet Care, and all the people in between and now that are making a difference. It truly is a benefit to our community, and I'm proud to get to know you and to, have the opportunity to have you on the Ilene Silverman Show. You're doing some great things, and we hope the community will get behind you. I know they will, and join in to make St. Francis Vet Care, move forward even more as you are doing right now.
Yeah,
Every
hope to be
little
here for a
bit
while.
will
Well,
help.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm so glad that you joined us, and I hope you will tune in next time. Take care.